If overthinking is your default mode, it might be your brain's way of trying to control an environment that once felt uncontrollable. This habit often develops as a survival mechanism, honed by years of living in an unpredictable environment. Your mind learns to anticipate every possible outcome as a way to protect you from harm. When chaos is the norm, the mind adapts. Our past experiences shape our present behaviors, often in ways we don't fully understand. Unless we recognize and address the root causes of our anxiety and overthinking, we'll likely continue to operate from a place of fear and hypervigilance. This hypervigilance, while once a life-saving skill, may now be anchoring us to old fears rather than enabling growth. Understanding this pattern requires a compassionate approach. Overthinking isn't just a bad habit. It's your mind's attempt to create a sense of control and predictability. However, it's crucial to acknowledge that the environment you're in now might no longer require such intense mental scrutiny. What once kept you safe may now be holding you back. Breaking free from this pattern isn't about simply thinking less. It's about retraining your brain to recognize safety and adapt to a calmer, more stable reality. This process begins with mindfulness and self-awareness. When you catch yourself spiraling into overthinking, pause and ask yourself, is this situation genuinely dangerous? Or is my mind projecting past fears onto the present? One effective technique is grounding yourself in the present moment. Practice deep breathing, focus on your physical surroundings, or engage in activities that require your full attention, such as exercise or creative hobbies. These practices help to anchor you in the here and now, reminding your brain that it's safe. It's also helpful to challenge the narratives you've built in your mind. Often, overthinking stems from assumptions or worst-case scenarios that aren't grounded in reality. Write down your thoughts and examine them objectively. Are there concrete facts supporting these fears, or are they rooted in speculation? By identifying and reframing irrational thoughts, you can begin to weaken their hold on you. Another important step is setting boundaries with your own thoughts. Allocate specific times for problem solving or worrying, and consciously redirect your focus during other moments. This practice, often referred to as worry scheduling, can prevent overthinking from consuming your entire day. Additionally, consider the role of self-compassion in overcoming overthinking. Many of us are our harshest critics, holding ourselves to impossible standards and dissecting every perceived flaw or mistake. Learning to treat yourself with kindness and understanding can reduce the pressure that fuels overthinking. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes and face uncertainty. These experiences are part of being human. Therapy or counseling can also be invaluable in addressing the root causes of overthinking. A mental health professional can help you explore the origins of your thought patterns, provide strategies for managing anxiety, and support you in creating healthier habits. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, in particular, has been shown to be highly effective in challenging and changing unhelpful thought processes. Building a support system is equally important. Share your struggles with trusted friends or family members who can provide perspective and encouragement. Sometimes, simply talking through your thoughts with someone else can help you see them in a new light. Journaling can also be a transformative tool in this process. Writing down your thoughts not only helps to clarify them, but also provides a space to reflect on recurring themes. Over time, you may begin to notice patterns in your overthinking and gain insight into its triggers. Use your journal to practice gratitude as well. Listing things you're thankful for can shift your focus from potential problems to positive aspects of your life. Engaging in physical activity is another way to reduce overthinking. Exercise releases endorphins, which improve mood and reduce stress. Whether it's a brisk walk, yoga, or a more intense workout, regular movement can help quiet a restless mind and provide a sense of accomplishment. Incorporating mindfulness meditation into your daily routine can also be a game changer. Mindfulness teaches you to observe your thoughts without judgment, allowing you to create distance between yourself and the mental chatter. Over time, this practice can help you respond to life's challenges with greater calm and clarity. Sometimes, overthinking is fueled by the belief that we must have all the answers or control every outcome. Letting go of this need for certainty can be liberating. Embrace the idea that uncertainty is a natural part of life and that it's okay not to know everything. Focus on what you can control and release what you cannot. Ent. Another strategy is to reframe overthinking as a form of creativity. Instead of viewing it as a burden, see it as evidence of your ability to think deeply and explore possibilities. Channel this energy into constructive outlets, such as problem-solving, brainstorming, or pursuing a passion project. By giving your mind a positive focus, you can transform overthinking into a strength rather than a hindrance. It's also essential to address the physical aspects of overthinking. Poor sleep, an unhealthy diet, and high levels of stress can exacerbate mental overload. Prioritize rest, nourish your body with balanced meals, and find ways to relax, such as reading, listening to music, or spending time in nature. A healthy lifestyle supports a healthy mind. Social media and constant connectivity can also contribute to overthinking by exposing us to an endless stream of information and comparisons. Consider setting boundaries with technology, such as limiting screen time or taking regular digital detoxes. This can create space for more meaningful and calming activities. Remember that progress is not linear. You might have days where overthinking feels overwhelming despite your best efforts. On such days, remind yourself of the tools and strategies you've learned and trust that setbacks are part of the growth process. Be gentle with yourself and keep moving forward. Finally, celebrate the resilience that overthinking represents. While it may feel like a burden, it's also a testament to your capacity to care deeply and think critically. By learning to manage this tendency, you can harness its strengths while minimizing its downsides. Overcoming overthinking is a gradual process, not an overnight fix. Be patient with yourself as you unlearn deeply ingrained habits and build new, healthier ways of thinking. Celebrate small victories along the way and remember that progress, no matter how slow, is still progress. While overthinking may have once protected us, it doesn't have to define our future interactions with the world. By understanding its origins and actively working to reframe our thought patterns, we can move toward a life of greater peace and clarity. It's about finding balance, honoring the part of us that sought safety, while embracing the freedom that comes from letting go of unnecessary fears. Each step you take brings you closer to a version of yourself that trusts in the present and looks forward to the future with hope and confidence. To begin reflecting on the abundance we have, consider the simple act of having food on your plate. This everyday occurrence might seem mundane, yet it represents a profound privilege. In a world where countless individuals face hunger and food insecurity daily, the ability to nourish yourself is an extraordinary blessing. Pair that with the clothes you wear and a safe place to rest, and you already find yourself in a fortunate position compared to over 55% of the global population. Such statistics may seem impersonal, but they underscore the reality that the essentials many take for granted remain out of reach for more than half of the people worldwide. Moving beyond necessities, imagine having disposable income and the freedom to spend it as you wish. The liberty to make choices about where and how to live, the ability to enjoy leisure activities, and the flexibility to pursue interests, these represent privileges that elevate you to an elite tier of humanity. Specifically, these freedoms place you among the top 8% of the world's population. This perspective serves as a powerful reminder that the luxuries we often view as ordinary are in fact extraordinary to the vast majority of people. Moreover, if you are alive today and enjoying relatively good health, you are among the truly fortunate. Consider the sobering fact that approximately 1 million people will not survive this week. Life and health are fragile gifts, often overlooked in the rush of daily routines. To wake up each morning, breathe deeply, and move freely without debilitating illness or pain is a reason for gratitude. Even something as seemingly simple as literacy and comprehension is a mark of immense privilege. If you can read and understand this message, you are among the fortunate minority. Around 500 million people in the world are visually impaired, illiterate, or lack access to the wealth of knowledge and information that surrounds us. This staggering statistic highlights how access to education and information is a powerful tool, one that is often underappreciated by those who have it readily available. When we pause to reflect on these aspects of life, food, shelter, freedom, health, and literacy, it becomes clear that much of what we consider ordinary is in fact extraordinary. Life's challenges and hardships can easily dominate our thoughts, but focusing solely on pain and sorrow diminishes the abundance that already exists around us. Complaining, while human, detracts from the countless reasons to be grateful. Gratitude, therefore, is not just a state of mind, but a practice, a deliberate choice to acknowledge and cherish the positive aspects of life. This mindset shift is not about dismissing struggles or invalidating hardships. Challenges and adversities are an inevitable part of life, and acknowledging them is essential to growth and healing. However, gratitude helps reframe these experiences, offering perspective and a sense of balance. When you view life through the lens of abundance rather than scarcity, you begin to notice the myriad blessings that enrich your existence. From the warmth of the sun on your skin to the comfort of a kind word, life is full of small yet significant moments that deserve appreciation. For those who are new to cultivating gratitude, it can feel overwhelming at first. Where do you start when life feels chaotic or stressful? Begin by listing 3 things you are grateful for each day. They don't need to be monumental. In fact, the smaller, more specific, and more personal they are, the better. Perhaps it's the taste of your morning coffee, the laughter of a loved one, or the sense of accomplishment after completing a task. Over time, this practice trains your brain to focus on the positive, gradually reshaping your perspective. Another approach is to express your gratitude outwardly. Tell someone you appreciate them, whether it's a friend, family member, or colleague. A handwritten note, a heartfelt text, or a sincere thank you can brighten someone else's day while deepening your own sense of gratitude. Acts of kindness and acknowledgement create ripples of positivity, spreading gratitude beyond yourself and fostering a culture of appreciation. Gratitude also thrives in mindfulness. Being present in the moment allows you to notice and savor life's details. Instead of rushing through meals, take a moment to appreciate their flavors and the effort behind their preparation. When outdoors, pause to admire the beauty of nature, whether it's a blooming flower, a gentle breeze, or a star-filled sky. Mindfulness anchors you to the present, where abundance often resides unnoticed. Furthermore, gratitude can transform your relationship with challenges. Life's difficulties often carry hidden lessons or opportunities for growth. Reflecting on past adversities, you may find that they led to personal development, strengthened relationships, or new paths you hadn't considered. While this perspective may not make hardships easier in the moment, it provides a sense of meaning and purpose that can sustain you through tough times. If you feel overwhelmed by the demands of modern life, take comfort in the knowledge that simplicity often brings the greatest joys. A heartfelt conversation, a walk in the park, or a quiet moment of reflection can be profoundly fulfilling. In our pursuit of more success, more possessions, more achievements, we risk losing sight of what truly matters. Gratitude grounds us, reminding us to cherish what we already have, rather than constantly seeking what we lack. Social media, with its curated portrayals of perfection, can amplify feelings of inadequacy and comparison. However, it can also serve as a platform for spreading gratitude and positivity. by sharing moments of appreciation, supporting others, and focusing on meaningful connections. You can use these tools to foster a sense of community and abundance. Encouraging others to adopt a grateful mindset not only enriches their lives, but reinforces your own commitment to gratitude. As you continue on this journey of gratitude, remember that it is a practice, not a destination. There will be days when it feels effortless and days when it feels impossible. On challenging days, focus on the basics: your breath, your heartbeat, the simple fact that you are here, alive, and capable of experiencing the world. These are profound gifts in and of themselves, a testament to the resilience and beauty of life. Ultimately, gratitude is about recognizing that life is a series of moments, each with its own unique blessings. It is a choice to focus on abundance rather than lack, to celebrate what is rather than lament what isn't. By prioritizing gratitude, you create a foundation for joy, resilience, and fulfillment. As the message suggests, life is not for dwelling on pain and sorrows, but for embracing the countless reasons to be thankful. If you resonate with this perspective, consider sharing it with others and embracing opportunities to grow. We all live in two worlds at once. There's the outer world, everything we can see, touch, and interact with, including other people and our own physical body. Then there's our inner world, the realm of our thoughts, dreams, feelings, and ideas. These two worlds are constantly influencing each other, shaping our lives in ways we don't always recognize. The key to achieving anything in life lies in understanding how to move something from our inner world into the outer world. It's like having a beautiful picture in your mind and finding a way to paint it on canvas for others to see. This process of transformation isn't magical. It follows clear patterns that every successful person has used, whether they knew it or not. There are three bridges that connect these worlds, three ways to turn an inner thought into outer reality. The first bridge is our words, the things we say and how we say them. This bridge shows its power in both positive and negative ways. Think about getting into an argument with someone. That moment when anger rises inside us, that's our inner world. If we choose to let that anger cross the bridge through harsh words, we create real damage in our outer world. A relationship can be hurt, trust can be broken, all because we let an inner feeling become an outer action through our words. But this same bridge can work in our favor. When we speak about our dreams with conviction, when we share our goals with others, we're beginning to give our inner visions a place in the outer world. Each time we talk about what we want to achieve, we're laying down the first stones on the path to making it real. The second bridge is writing. When we take our thoughts and put them on paper, we're creating something physical from something that was only in our mind. Think about every great building you've ever seen. Before it stood tall in steel and concrete, it existed as drawings on paper, and before that, as an idea in someone's mind. Writing is powerful because it forces us to organize our thoughts, to make them clearer and more real. The third and most powerful bridge is action. This is where real change happens. It's not enough to talk about our dreams or write them down. We have to live them. If you want to be successful in your career, you need to act like the successful person you want to become. This means developing the habits, the work ethic, and the attitude of someone who achieves great things. Let's look at how these bridges work together in real life. Imagine you have an idea for a project at work. First, you might talk about it with your colleagues, words. Their feedback helps shape and improve your idea. Then you write down your plan, creating a detailed proposal, writing. Finally, you take action. You start doing the work, making adjustments, and bringing your idea to life. Each step moves your idea further from your inner world into the outer world where it can make a real difference. But remember, these bridges work both ways. Just as positive thoughts and actions can create positive results in the outer world, negative ones can do harm. When we let anger, fear, or doubt cross these bridges unchecked, they can damage our relationships, our opportunities, and our chances for success. This is why it's so important to be mindful of what we allow to cross from our inner world to our outer world. The power of these three bridges, words, writing, and action, lies in using them together. Speaking about our goals helps us believe in them more strongly. Writing them down helps us see them more clearly. Taking action helps us achieve them more quickly. Each bridge strengthens the others, creating a solid path from thought to reality. Think of it like building a house. Your inner world is where you imagine the perfect home. Words are like sharing your vision with an architect. Writing is like creating the blueprints. Action is like actually laying the foundation and raising the walls. You need all three to turn that perfect house in your mind into a real place where you can live. This understanding gives us both power and responsibility. We have the power to shape our outer world through what we choose to bring across from our inner world. But we also have the responsibility to be careful about what we let cross these bridges. Every word we speak, every plan we write down, every action we take is changing our outer world in some way. Success, then, isn't just about having big dreams. It's about knowing how to bring those dreams into reality using these three bridges. It's about being conscious of what we're transferring from our inner world to our outer world, and making sure that what we bring across serves our goals and respects our relationships with others. When we master these bridges, we become architects of our own reality. We learn to shape our outer world to match our inner vision, not through magic or wishful thinking, but through the deliberate use of words, writing, and action. This is how dreams become achievements, how thoughts become things, and how we create the life we want to live. In the end, life itself becomes a journey of learning how to use these bridges, words, writing, and action, to shape the world we imagine. It's not something we perfect overnight. It's a gradual process of trial and growth, a series of small victories and valuable lessons. Each time we set a goal and take even the smallest step toward it, we gain insight into how powerful our inner world truly is. Every small success strengthens our belief in ourselves, showing us that transformation is possible, that what begins as a thought can indeed become real. Each lesson learned, whether from failure or success, adds another layer to our wisdom. We become more resilient, more thoughtful, and more intentional in what we allow to cross these bridges. We learn, little by little, that we truly have the power to transform our thoughts into reality. In this process, we begin to realize that we are not just passive participants in life, swept along by circumstance. Rather, we are its creators. Life becomes a canvas, and every choice we make is a brushstroke, painting the picture of the life we wish to live. But this role of creator is not just a privilege. It's a profound responsibility. Each word we speak, each idea we write down, each action we take builds the world around us. We hold in our hands the ability to create, to shape, to inspire, and to change, both for ourselves and for those we encounter along the way. So, with words, writing, and action, we hold the tools to make a lasting impact, one that begins within but extends outward, touching lives, inspiring growth, and leaving the world a little better than we found it. This is the beauty of living as both creators and students of life. We learn from each step, we grow with each crossing, and we build a life that not only fulfills us, but also uplifts those around us. The journey is both our reward and our responsibility, and in embracing it, we step fully into the role of architect of our own lives, using these bridges to turn dreams into reality, vision into legacy, and our lives into something meaningful. In the end, to live in this way is to understand that we are more than just travelers in life. We are builders, actively constructing a world that mirrors the best of what we carry within. Have you ever found yourself lying in bed at night exhausted, yet scrolling mindlessly through your phone, knowing you should sleep, knowing you have important things to do tomorrow, but somehow unable to stop? That moment, that seemingly simple inability to put down your phone and rest, is the tip of an iceberg that's slowly draining your energy, leaving you in a constant state of tiredness that no amount of coffee seems to fix. The cycle begins almost imperceptibly. A slight hesitation before starting a task, a moment of delay that seems harmless at first. Yet this pattern of procrastination, this constant pushing of responsibilities into some imagined future, creates a weight that many carry without understanding its true cost. It's a weight that manifests as perpetual exhaustion, a tiredness that seeps into every aspect of life, leaving many wondering why they feel so drained despite seemingly doing nothing. This exhaustion isn't just physical. It's a complex web of mental, emotional, and physical fatigue that feeds upon itself. The procrastinator lives in two times simultaneously: the present, where they avoid what needs to be done, and the future, where they imagine themselves finally taking action. This split existence consumes enormous amounts of mental energy, creating a state of constant low-grade stress that the body and mind must continually process. What many don't realize is that procrastination itself is exhausting. The mental effort required to avoid a task, to create excuses, to manage the anxiety of unfinished work, it all demands energy. Every time you think about what needs to be done, then choose to delay it, your brain engages in a complex dance of rationalization and self-negotiation. This internal struggle burns through mental resources far more quickly than simply doing the task would have. The procrastinator's mind becomes a battlefield of competing priorities. There's the immediate desire for comfort or pleasure, the appeal of scrolling through social media, watching one more episode, or putting off that important call until tomorrow. Then there's the growing pressure of responsibility, the knowledge of what needs to be done, creating a background noise of stress that never fully quiets. This constant internal conflict drains energy that could have been used for productive work or genuine rest. The irony lies in how procrastination corrupts our attempts at rest. When we delay important tasks, we never fully relax during our downtime. There's always that nagging awareness of what we're avoiding, turning what should be rejuvenating leisure time into a guilt-ridden limbo. We're neither working nor truly resting. We're stuck in an energy-draining middle ground where we can't fully engage with either activity or relaxation. This pattern creates what psychologists call sleep procrastination, staying awake later than intended, not because we're busy with important tasks, but because we're trying to reclaim the time we feel we've lost during the day. We push back our bedtime, telling ourselves we deserve some me time after a day of stress, even though that stress was largely self-imposed through procrastination. This disrupts our natural sleep cycles, leading to poor quality rest and even greater fatigue the next day. The physical toll of this cycle is very real. When we procrastinate, we often rush to complete tasks at the last minute, forcing our bodies into high-stress states. This triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, designed for short-term emergency situations, not chronic daily use. Over time, this hormonal roller coaster leaves us feeling drained, contributing to that persistent feeling of tiredness that seems to have no clear cause. What makes this cycle particularly insidious is how it feeds into itself. When we're tired, our willpower weakens, making us more likely to procrastinate. When we procrastinate, we create more stress and fatigue, making us even more tired. It becomes a self-perpetuating loop that can feel impossible to break, each turn of the wheel drawing more energy from our depleted reserves. The digital age has only intensified this problem. Our devices offer endless opportunities for instant gratification, quick hits of dopamine that our tired brains crave. Each notification, each scroll, each click provides a momentary escape from our responsibilities, while simultaneously making us more tired and less likely to engage with meaningful work. We are caught in a web of digital distraction that masquerades as rest, but actually depletes us further. Breaking free from this cycle requires understanding that procrastination isn't just a time management problem, it's an energy management crisis. The solution isn't found in complex productivity systems or stricter schedules, but in recognizing how our avoidance behaviors are draining our energy and corrupting our ability to truly rest. The path to recovery begins with small steps. It starts with acknowledging that the energy spent avoiding a task is often greater than the energy required to complete it. It involves learning to distinguish between genuine rest and procrastination-driven avoidance. True rest rejuvenates, avoidance depletes. Understanding this difference is crucial for breaking the cycle of perpetual tiredness. Real change comes from developing a new relationship with our tasks and our energy. It means learning to face what needs to be done without the added burden of self-judgment or anxiety. It means understanding that procrastination isn't a character flaw, but a habit that can be gradually reformed through self-awareness and compassion. The goal isn't to become someone who never procrastinates. That's unrealistic. Instead, the aim is to develop a healthier approach to our tasks and our time, one that allows us to maintain our energy rather than constantly depleting it. When we begin to take action promptly, we free ourselves from the exhausting weight of avoidance, creating space for genuine rest and recovery. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, but with each task we face directly instead of avoid, with each moment we choose action over delay, we begin to reclaim our energy. We start to break free from the cycle of perpetual tiredness, finding that when we stop spending our energy on avoiding life, we have much more energy for actually living it. As this shift takes root, we rediscover the joy and satisfaction that comes from progress. Completing a task no longer feels like a chore, but becomes a source of empowerment, a reminder of our capability to handle life's challenges. Each small victory builds momentum, gradually dismantling the barriers of procrastination and replacing them with a sense of control and purpose. This newfound energy creates a ripple effect, extending far beyond productivity. We sleep better because our minds are no longer weighed down by the burden of avoidance. Our relationships improve because we're more present, less distracted by the invisible stress of unfinished tasks. Even our leisure time becomes richer, as we can truly relax without the shadow of guilt or anxiety hanging over us. In this state of balance, life feels lighter. We realize that productivity and rest aren't opposing forces, but complementary elements of a well-lived life. By tackling tasks when they arise, we preserve our energy, freeing ourselves from the exhausting tug-of-war between action and avoidance. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress, a sustainable rhythm that allows us to thrive instead of merely survive. Sometimes someone's words can hit so hard that they leave you speechless, as if the weight of each word has stripped you of the ability to respond. It's like being paralyzed in a moment, stunned, as everything you want to say is suddenly silenced. You try to gather your thoughts, searching for a way to defend yourself, to explain your side, but all that escapes is silence. You stand there, facing them, words trapped in your throat, wondering how they could even think to say something so harsh, so cruel. In the seconds that follow, your mind races. Your thoughts are tangled with emotions, hurt, betrayal, disbelief, and anger, all clashing together. You want to shout, to make them understand how deeply their words have wounded you, to make them feel even a fraction of what you're feeling. But instead, you're left staring, caught between the desire to lash out and the inability to move. A part of you wonders how they could even think those words, let alone say them aloud, as though they hadn't considered the impact they might have. It's almost surreal, as if you're watching this unfold from the outside, questioning if this is really happening. You search their face, hoping for a hint of regret, a sign that maybe they didn't mean it, but instead, their expression confirms the truth of those words. And in that confirmation, it feels like a chasm opens between you, an invisible divide that suddenly separates you. Their words create a distance, and you feel that even though you're standing in the same room, you're miles apart. Then, as the silence stretches, self-doubt starts to creep in. You begin to wonder if somehow, maybe in some way, you caused this. Did you say or do something that gave them permission to speak to you like this? Your mind races through past interactions, searching for clues, asking yourself if you missed something along the way. You question if you somehow deserved this treatment, and with each question, you feel yourself shrinking a little, unsure of what's real. And yet, part of you knows that no one deserves to be hurt like this. Their words aren't just words. They're like wounds that linger, bruises that stay long after the moment has passed. You want to understand what drove them to say something so painful, but in that search for understanding, you realize it's not just about what they said. It's about the trust that has now been shattered. There's an ache in knowing that someone you thought you could rely on, someone you believed cared for you, could be capable of such callousness. It's a pain that goes beyond the moment and starts to shake the foundation of everything you thought you knew about them. Days pass, and their words replay in your mind, invading your thoughts at the most unexpected times. You find yourself imagining responses you wish you had been able to say, all the perfect comebacks that eluded you in the moment. But no matter how many times you replay it, there's no satisfaction, no relief. The hurt remains, like an open wound that refuses to heal. Each time you think about it, you feel the sting all over again, as if you're right back in that moment, speechless and hurt. You notice that their words have left you more guarded, that a part of you has started to build walls you didn't have before. You become hesitant to open up, reluctant to share your vulnerabilities, fearing that someone else might wield words with the same cruelty. You start holding back pieces of yourself, hoping that by doing so, you can protect yourself from future hurt. But as those walls grow higher, you realize that they're not just keeping others out. They're also keeping parts of you locked away. Over time, you begin to understand that their words are a reflection of them, not of you. You come to see that sometimes, people project their own pain, anger, or insecurities onto others, and that doesn't make it fair or acceptable. Slowly, you start reclaiming your voice. You remind yourself that you're more than those words, that your worth isn't defined by anyone else's harsh judgments or careless opinions. You begin to release the silence that once held you captive, realizing that healing comes not from waiting for an apology that may never arrive, but from recognizing that you deserve kindness and respect. In the quiet moments when those words come back to haunt you, you remind yourself that they don't define you. You remember that not everyone will see your value, and that's okay. The journey to healing is yours, and you can choose to walk away from the weight of those words, to leave them behind. With each day, you feel the sting of their words fade, and you find strength in knowing that their cruelty was their burden, not yours to carry. Gradually, you start to trust yourself again. You let go of the anger and hurt, not because they've apologized or because it's easy, but because holding on to it only keeps you tethered to the pain. In letting go, you find a kind of freedom, a release from the burden of their words. And in that release, you reclaim your voice, a voice that's now stronger and more resilient. You come to realize that while words can hurt, they also have the power to heal, and that healing begins with choosing to be gentle with yourself, to remind yourself that you are worthy of respect, of love, and of kindness. In the end, you emerge stronger, having transformed the silence that once held you back into a strength that propels you forward. You've learned to value yourself, to see beyond the hurt, and to understand that no one's words should ever have the power to diminish your worth. With this new strength, you walk away, knowing that while you can't always control what others say, you can choose how you let their words affect you. you've found peace, resilience, and the courage to move forward. And that, in itself, is the greatest victory.
You can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one. Dwelling on past events, mistakes, or regrets prevents you from moving forward and embracing new opportunities. When you focus too much on the past, constantly replaying what has already happened, you limit your ability to grow, heal, and create a better future. Just like in a book, if you keep revisiting the same pages, you'll never experience the story's progression. The story of life is meant to move forward, to introduce new experiences, people, and opportunities that can shape and enrich you. Holding on to what once was keeps you from seeing the possibilities that lie ahead. Every chapter in life has a purpose. Sometimes it's to teach, sometimes it's to challenge, and sometimes it's simply to allow you to appreciate the present. But clinging too tightly to what has already happened means you're missing out on the chance to make new memories and reach new milestones. To move forward, you must let go of the past and focus on what's ahead, allowing yourself to grow from those experiences rather than being defined by them. Letting go isn't about forgetting. It's about choosing to live fully in the present, armed with the lessons of the past. It's about realizing that every ending makes space for a new beginning. So, take a deep breath, turn the page, and let yourself experience the story as it unfolds. Embrace each chapter for what it brings, and have faith that the pages yet to be written are filled with potential and promise.